Hey guys, how are we doing? So today we're looking at something called partial quotents. Now we might have started this with Miss Moss, so we should have a fairly good understanding, but I'm just going to go back to the basics to make sure we know it really well. All right, so a quotient is the result of division. So we divide to get the quotient. So the answer is a quotient. But what we're looking at today is a partial quotient. So we're looking at breaking up our number to get that part answer to get them all together to solve our answer, our final answer. So 639, to break that up into our parts for our partial quotient, we would break it up into our, let's go with our hundreds, tens, and ones. So we have our 600, we have our 30, and we have our 9. Now, can these be all divided by 3? I think so. 600 can be divided by 3, 30 can be divided by 3, and 9 can be divided by 3. Awesome. So we know that. So let's use our area model to set it out. So like we did with our partial products last term, only they were for multiplication. This is for division, so it's very similar, but it's going to be different. So our common factor that's going to apply to all of them is our 3, so we put that over there. We start with in the box, so we'll put our 600 in the box, put our 30 in our different box, and our 9 in our separate box. So we're trying to figure out what the partial quotents are. So these 3 numbers that go down here are going to be our partial quotents. All right, so 3 goes into 600. We know 3 goes into 6 twice, and we can bring our zeros down to get 200. We know that 3 goes into 30 10 times, and to 9 3 times. So they're all our partial quotents. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So if we add them all together, we get 200 and oops, sorry, that should not be a 9 because 3 goes into 9 3 times. So it should be 213. So our final quotient or our final answer is 213. So 639 divided by 3 equals 213. Now that looks like a much simpler way to set it out than trying to figure all that stuff out. Now it can get a bit tricky. If we come to down here, it can get a bit tricky when it doesn't fit into that number. So let's have a look at this one, 742. So let's break that up into our parts. We have 700, we have 40, and we have 2. So we want to see if they can all be divided by 7. So if that can be divided by 7, 7, and 7. Now, 700, I know we can because we got 7 goes into 7. Fantastic. 40 into 7. I don't think that works. So I'm going to put a cross and 2. No way. Not a chance. But what we can do, what can we do with our 40 and our 2 to make it work? We can regroup. So if we regroup them into all our ones, we end up with 42 ones. So we change our 10s to our ones, and I know 42 can be divided by 7. So if we do that, put that into our area model. So we have 2 numbers because we have 2 ticks. We have 700. Move it down a bit. 700, and we have 42. Now, we just need to work out our partial quotents, and our number that goes into all of them is our 7. So that looks much easier to solve than this up here. That looks too tricky to do off the top of my head, but I reckon I can do this. 7 goes into 7 once, and we bring our zeros down. 100. 7 goes into 42. If I use my simple division skills, I know that that is 6. So then I add them together, 106. So when it doesn't work, we need to look at how can we regroup it. We always start at our hundreds and we move all the way to our ones to get our answer. All right, so what we're going to do now is move to our 4-digit numbers. So it gets a little bit trickier when we have to use 4 digits. Alrighty, so here's one of our 4-digit sums. So 6,396 divided by 3. Now, it's a pretty easy one to start off with. So let's just make sure we get down to basics. So what's our first step? First step, we need to break it up into our place values. We have our 6,000. We have 300, we have 90, and we have 6. So we're looking at dividing them all by, what's our number that goes into all of them? 3. Now, I know I can I can do that because 6 is a multiple of 3, 3 is, 90 is, and 6 is. So we can do all of them. So let's move them into our area model. So we have 6,000, we have 300, we have 90, and we have 6. And our number that goes into all of them is 3. All right, so now we need to figure out our partial quotients, so our partial numbers that fit into all of it to find our full quotient. So our partial, 6,000 divided by 3 is, we know that 6 goes into 3 twice, or 3 goes into 6 twice, and bring our zeros down. 2,000, 3 goes into 300 once, bring our zeros down, goes into 9 3 times, bring our 0 down, and our 6 twice. So now we just add them all up. So 2,000 plus 100 is 2,100, and 30 and 2. So it's the same strategy, we're just adding an extra box. We just need to make sure, check our numbers and make sure we can divide them all by our quotient, our product, so 3, tick and make sure we can. Then we go through and check that we can do it. Alright guys, so in a minute I'm going to get you to pause the video and have a go at some of these questions. Now these top 2, so 2 above this line, are pretty straightforward. So this one here, you won't need to regroup, but I want to see an area model, so our rectangles for each of these. The 2 down the bottom, 530 divided by 5 and 1,815 divided by 3, you will need to regroup. Now split it up so we have our 3-digit and our 4-digit on either side, and our top 2 you shouldn't need to regroup, and our bottom 2 you will need to regroup. All right, pause the video now and answer them for me. All right, well done guys. So tomorrow I want you to come in and show me the answers for these videos, please, and we will sort out a prize for you. All right, good luck guys, and if you have any questions or you're not sure about anything, please come in and see me and I'm happy to sit with you and work it out. All right, good luck.